And we're back. Back to Minecraft. Loading, loading, loading. All right. There we go. Still in our little starter house. Of course, it's raining. All right, so what are we up to today? I think this time I'm not going to deal with this right off the bat. I'll come back to dealing with the stone situation. But maybe first thing can be... We can look at the plan. That's an option. We can... What did we do last time? Ooh, we could see how the lava generator is doing, right? So, I'll run over there. Check in on lava gen. I did, between the last stream and now, log in a couple of times to increase the amount of space for our lava pond, is I think what I called it last time. So should have quite a bit accumulated. Where? I guess it's still a ways down here, isn't it? Catwalk, all the lava, and then we have, I think we're pretty full again, going by the state of the cauldrons here. So, yeah, I can't really see anymore, but I basically, if we had a large area cut out, it was maybe almost 20 by 30, something like that, down below. And between streams, I dug all the way up to here. So this is all lava. So I'm hoping that this, at this point, is in fact 10,000 blocks. That is the hope. And if so, I guess the question is, so something I'm not sure about. Let's see, hose pulley. Does the end of the hose pulley need to be all the way down at the bottom for it to count all of the blocks, or can it be at the top? It's basically at the top right now of the pool of lava, because it fills up to like the block where the end of the hose pulley is, like that, except lava in this case, or pull from entering the pool instead. So, I mean, that graphic suggests that the end should be at the bottom to include everything. Yeah, when fully retracted, it can't operate. If it's, it runs from top to bottom. But I think the bottom is where the bottom of the... Yeah, okay. So, we need to lower this, which is this direction. All the way to the bottom. It'll stop and won't let us go past the stone at the bottom of our not really a pond anymore, our lava reservoir. And then if I were to take the wrench and turn this around the other way, is that should be pumping. Does this count as infinite though? Let me take that off. Huh. I think there should be, like, when I look at this, it should say it's infinite, if it counts as infinite. So I'm thinking it's not. That is all the way down to the bottom. So I think we still don't have enough lava, unfortunately. Let's lift this back up. How far do we need to lift it? That's going to be fun to see. Let me also... quick. Basically, okay, so there's the end. I think we should be one lower than that. Let's go look. Yeah, because once we lifted it while it was still pumping out, it had started pumping more in right here. But I think... you know, maybe I'll just... Let me do this. Alright, it needs to go down one more to be at the level we're currently at. There we go. Let this pump back and turn it back the other way. Okay, so we have a little bit more to do to get to the point where we have infinite lava. Not quite there yet. That's too bad. I was really hoping that we would be there. But so it goes. Okay. Well, had to adjust my volume a little bit. Hopefully this is better. Great. Okay. So, first thing today is we need to get some more space in here for more lava. What are we doing after this? So, the plan from last time was to, we had started working on the Cobblegen, new cobblestone generator over in the, a little ways away from spawn. We needed to build a windmill to supply power for it. We needed to finish the setup on that. There were some things that were missing. And then once we had that going, then we were going to get that being milled into gravel. Yes, gravel into sand and then washed into clay. And then we just needed some temporary storage, maybe setting up some item vaults for all those produced resources to go into. And then I think kind of, I don't know if this is on the next page. No, I have some other things that we want to do. But at some point, get some trains set up to start picking up those resources and delivering them to other factories, other places. So that will be the thing that we're going to do shortly. I do want to clear out some space here, though, just so that we can lift up the host pulley a little higher and get a little bit more lava going. So we're, you know, completing the advancement over here on the right that we've been working towards for the last couple streams, which is infinite lava with the tapping the mantle advancement. So, okay, so that was kind of the edge there. not that I can go further. Yeah, so we'll just do this. And I'm essentially just trying to match the... Huh. Oh, I already... How did I get here before? Oh, right, this is where I started. When I laid out these corners. I don't know exactly how I found this spot, but regardless. Okay, so the other thing I had to do between streams was do some upgrades on the sledgehammer. I added a diamond to it to give it a little bit more durability. I think I did something to the pick too. I think I added a diamond there. I don't know if there was anything else, but I did repair them. I had to make a bunch of bronze to do that. Just to make the tools last a bit longer. Because what I'm doing right now, I had to do several times to get the lava up to this point. Hey, look, there's a diamond. Well, that diamond will be there if we're ever in a desperate need. Alright, continuing on. This is quite a bit faster than the original how this hammer used to be before we added a bunch of redstone to it. To make it faster. Deep slate is pretty slow to mine. I suppose if we do need to end up raising the lava generation up to make space, that would at least have the benefit of the space to clearing out the space would be faster. We're at, oh, we're still a little ways from it stopping being deep slate, so I don't know if we even get that far. I felt like pretty confident. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We should be pretty close to the point where we have 10,000 blocks of lava. Maybe once we fill up the space, we'll be there. I was looking at some of the other things that are in our current chapter of the quest book, and one of them uses deep slate to make iron. We already have a way to make iron, but we're gonna need more. And some of the builds that I have designed are also using the crimsite, quite a bit of it. Crimsite. There we go. So this stuff you can make using lava and flint applied to cobble deep slate. So all this cobble deep slate will be helpful for that. Although at some point we'll have to automate, because you can automate the production of cobble deep slate as well, I believe. Yeah, you can turn gravel and flint into it. So, and I think that will be more effective in the future rather than what we're doing right now, where we are milling cobblestone into, I keep on wanting to say granite, but no, gravel. And then washing the gravel to get a chance at iron nuggets is what we currently have set up. So I have some ideas towards that. I don't know exactly where we'll build that, but there will likely be some train tracks going by there. And in fact, one of the things I did between streams is try to kind of plot out where I might want to start adding some more rails. I think I mentioned in an earlier stream that right now, you know, we have a lot of like just single tracks for things going places, and longer term, what I'll want to have is to have 2 sets of tracks, one for each direction, so that you know, trains only go down a track in one direction. Keeps things simpler. And so, you know, with spawn, it's a pretty tight area. I'm trying to figure out how I want stuff to go through there without, you know, totally destroying everything. Because I wouldn't want to, you know, destroy what we have. Meager though it may be. Let's see, I'll keep a couple blocks here just so I don't accidentally fall down into this later. Put some blocks there. That's good. Alright, so this is the edge of where we're going to be coming through. Almost done. Maybe. Unless we need to do another layer of this. And then once I do this next run, I just need to go back and take out the floor. And then we can lift the... we can't actually... Where this hose pulley is, we won't be able to lift it all the way. We'll be able to lift it to, like, here. So we will be able to fill, like, all the way up to this block level. With lava. Which would be good. I think I want some blocks there, though. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so we'll be able to lift the hose pulley up and then fill this area with lava as well. And we'll see if that is 10,000 blocks. I'll also probably want to, once we're done with this, check the ponder again for the hose pulley, because I think it showed something where, or maybe it was in the quest book, but I recall there being something that kind of showed what it should look like when there's an infant source. Oh, there's still a little bit over here. Let's get this cleared out. I think I want to keep blocks under all this stuff as well. If we do need to end up... I don't know if it'll be worthwhile to, like, lift this stuff up to make more room, or if I might just come back and, like, open an adjacent space for lava to flow out. And do it that way. That might be better. Or easier to get at and deal with, rather than trying to move our lava generation upwards out of the way. Alright, let's not paint myself into a corner. I suppose, since I dug this little bit extra out here, I can also make a little bit of extra space to pump into over here. There we go. Interesting. Why was this too thick? Maybe I miscounted when I started this level. I went one block too high, maybe? I think our hammer will survive to finish this. It's looking pretty good. So for the quarry, the stone quarry is what I'm calling it, where the new cobblestone generator is going. I have a design for like a tower for lifting items
Which, you know, there's other ways to do vertical item transport, but it looks kind of cool having just like a belt that goes around the tower. At least I thought so. So I think at the end of the last stream I had kind of a layout where I had the windmill directly on top of the cobblestone generator apparatus, and I might change that to have a kind of a item elevator tower on top of the cobblestone gen, and then put the windmill on top of that. Might thematically make more sense than having the windmill inside of this pit, this quarry. Thematically is not the right word, but you know, in terms of like, if this were in the real world, it would make a lot of sense. And things, you know, in Minecraft don't have to always look like something that could exist in the real world. That's not necessarily what I'm trying to do here, but in this case, that's what I want to do. So we'll relocate where we place that schematic when we get over there to the quarry. And maybe actually swap out the schematic for the one for this tower. Figure out what resources we need for that. Oh yeah, I think, and maybe this is actually in the book. Well, I just said build windmill, but I think we probably need to collect some additional resources, both for the windmill because it needed some like, what is it like? Or did we get that stuff? No, we got that for the. That's right. I remember we were gathering resources for the cobblestone gen that needed that andesite iron building block material. So I think maybe the tower will need some of that. I don't remember exactly. It's been a few weeks since I did that design in a creative world for future use. That's one of the other things I did kind of off stream is do some more like creative building and thinking of some other things, either new builds or actually went back to some of my really old builds from many years ago from vanilla Minecraft that I have been updating a little bit to maybe bring into this world for various purposes. Spawn behind me and it's going to knock me into the lava. So I'll have to see if this is in fact enough space. I hope so. It's been a lot of digging, both on and off stream to get here. Why are you even so focused right now on getting the stone quarry and clay production automated in such a way? And I believe that's because in the quest book for this, there were some things for doing automation of copper and tin. And besides, you know, various other things we can manufacture with those resources, I think I would like to do some builds that have a lot of copper in them. That's not something I have right now, but I have some vague ideas for some things that would have lots of copper in terms of like decoration. And so, not to mention the fact that the Verdium and Asurine, which I believe are the creators that we're going to automate the production of to then be able to mill and refine into tin and copper,
can be pretty cool decorative blocks themselves. And then also, bronze, right? So we're using bronze for some of our tools and using bronze for a lot of create mechanisms. And right now we have a pretty inefficient way of making it using the smithing table, where you're putting in one ingot of each and getting an ingot of bronze back out. And I feel like maybe the using the molten metals in the basin and mixing them is more efficient. I seem to recall that's true. Alright, so I'm going to close this off now. If I had some glass on me, maybe we can make some windows into that at some point. But for now, let me get some torches. Some more torches in here. Let's also be able to see what's going on here. And we're going to lift this so that it's just protruding one block down. And so that'll fill the lava up to this level. I'm also, for safety, I'm going to put a block right there so I can't accidentally walk into that. Alright, so the other thing I wanted to check was for the hose pulley. Was it in the ponder? Something about infinite? Absolutely. And a large enough ocean without affecting the source. Networks can limitlessly take fluids to and from such pulleys. Okay, it doesn't tell us. So maybe it was in the quest book that I'm thinking of that showed that. Simply try to drain a 10,000 block. You can use a comparator on a tank. I didn't know that. Yep. I see. Yep. You can make very large tanks. Maybe it was one of the scenes in here that I'm thinking. I don't think so. I don't know where I saw that before, that there was some kind of indication that the source is infinite when looking at maybe the hose pulley. Maybe that's something that I saw in a video or something. I don't know. But we'll let this run until it catches up. I think at this point we've dumped out all of the lava we accumulated so far. So it'll be some time before this fills up. And in the meantime, one of these switches over here on this one side. I had been thinking about maybe increasing the lava generation capacity by putting some more dripstone and cauldrons over on the other side of this, because this is still in the loaded chunk. Yep. But so far this has been doing pretty good. It does have the benefit of being in a loaded chunk, and the server's running for 24/7. So, but still. So basically, all behind the stone, all of that is carved out to the same size as the room we just did. For those that haven't seen the past streams, all the way down to here. So that's all full of lava. So at some point, we will reach 10,000 blocks. Just not quite there yet. Alright, so hopefully that concludes the digging a hole portion of the stream. Ow. On to building things.
filled up on a cobble deep slate. Just cook some of that down. Okay. I have a raw iron. I guess I mined. Oh yeah, I hammered some iron at some point, didn't I? And room to put that in there. What did we need the sticks for? Why do we have sticks? I don't know. Alright. Put that in there. Enjoy my last squid pasta. And we're out of food. That'll probably be a thing we need to attend to sometime in between some of these next things from the plant. So build windmill, finish Cobblegen setup. So let's go over to the quarry and see what's going on over there. I imagine we'll probably have to pretty quickly come back to get resources, but let's see what we need. At least this makes the trip over here pretty fast. Right, that is down there pretty far. It's not. So this cobblestone gen mechanism is not quite as low as I was originally imagining, but I think it will make sense to have a tower for items to for the cobblestone to travel up, and then come over this way, and then come down into the train. Yeah. Alright. So let's see what we have going on down here. One thing I didn't do, that I think I said I was going to do, was I feel like there's some water or lava blocks that are supposed to be placed in here that I'm not remembering. But I'm not remembering. So I was gonna go check the creative world where I had built this originally to see what was going on with it, but I hadn't remembered to do that. I realized, and so I'll have to maybe pop out of survival into that creative world and see what's going on there. Double check how this is supposed to be built. But for right now, what I want to do is I'm going to grab the schematic. And do I even have a schematic table here? I feel like I didn't do that. All sorts of things, including a bunch of crude storage units that I'll keep one of those on me. Yeah. I have no wood. I have no crafting table. And I don't even know. What does it take to make a schematic table? Smooth stone and slabs. Great. Just great. What is going to be faster? I think it'll be the fastest thing to do is probably just to go back to the to spawn and get the stuff. Maybe we can just make another schematic table and bring it over here and keep it with the cannon. Or I could just break the one I already have and bring it over here and keep it with the cannon. I think will make sense going forward. That's probably the fastest thing to do. Going around the loop so we end up facing the right way. Stop. Does not stop very fast. Alright. Did not make the jump in time. Alright, so we have... Wait. Oh, it's... That's why I would forget it. It's just stuck over here in the corner. Alright. And we do need the schematic in order to be able to know what resources we need. Which I could have broken it and brought it with me, but then we'd lose out on the gunpowder that's sitting in it. So instead, we make extra trips. Eager to have some maybe some passenger trains that set up to go between things and just are on a schedule. It might be kind of nice just to hop on a train as it pulls in, go from place to place. I kind of see that in our future. All right, so we got lots of schematics. The one that I'm after is something tower. Tower belt 1, I think might be it. Alright. Probably need to be up a bit to see what's going on. Now, if I remember right, I made this. It is pretty tall, but it is also repeatable. And another question is, do I want it... How much room do I want to leave between the cobblestone gen and where the belts start? Because we will need to have not really much room. Let me just get here closer and see what's going on. So that should be fine-ish, although it needs to be over a little bit. How's that? Yeah, I think that's centered now. It could actually be one lower. Alright, and then in terms of how the rotation of it, we can have the items come out here and go back up to, well, we'll have to put a short belt there and then have a belt come in there and that'll all go out. And then I think the belt can just send items that way. Yeah. So that'll be good. And then we'll put the windmill on top. So I think that is going to be the plan. Let me go up to the top of this, and we'll look at it from kind of the rim, and see what it looks like from there. Yeah. So then instead of having this bit that makes the turn to kind of continue for more tower, instead we'll have a belt that goes straight out that way. And we might... So I think one of the things I want to see, I think we're going to have quite a bit more power left, even with the belts and the mechanical bearing and all this stuff. I think with our max size windmill, we'll still have some power left, and we'll use that to do our milling and washing to make clay, is the theory. So on that assumption, maybe what we can do is we can do some of that processing kind of maybe here. We can do a little build here. I don't have a build prepared for that, but we can just build something. and then that could be loaded onto the train. What I'm thinking here is that like there will be basically 2 belts exiting the quarry over to the train, and so there will be essentially, the expectation would be there will be 2 train cars, one for cobblestone and one for the clay, at least for now. Could be more later, right, depending on how much resources we're producing and how often the trains are coming by, and those sorts of things that I don't know the answer to yet, but for now we can kind of imagine that's how things will go for a start. And even before that, what we'll have is we'll have some storage over here that the items will go into as a buffer. I mean, we'll keep that even once we have the trains going, but in the interim, you know, we can use that. We can just come over here and pick up items when we want to gather the resources that this is going to produce for us. So it has 109 shots left. I think the other problem we're going to have right now is lack of gunpowder. So, 1 second here. So these are the resources that we needed for the windmill. So windmill bearing. I think we had the sales, so we just never updated the list. Okay, so windmill bearing. Can I can't just hit F there, can I? Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bookmark some of the things we will need for the windmill, just to save us the effort, because we're gonna transition from getting setting up the schematic cannon to updating this book to be the resources we need for our tower elevator thing. But while we're doing that, we can also get the resources for the windmill as well, right? So, great andesite iron plating. So we have 27 of those. Yeah, we have 27. We need 19. Plus, we need some slabs. So I think we're just going to need more great andesite iron. Just in general. Because, like, the walls and those things are made of that. Ooh, it's 1-to-1. Interesting. The andesite iron tile stairs might be... Iron tile stair. Cut andesite iron. Andesite iron plating. So that's slightly different. It didn't involve the dye. So let's bookmark that as well. That's a separate thing that we'll need. But yeah, that's all that we really needed for the windmill. So let's see what we needed for our item elevator tower. So we need 40 encased chain drives, 8 gearboxes, 16 mechanical belts, 108. Hey, Dudamas. It's going pretty well. How are you doing? Let's see, and then a bunch of shafts, stacked andesite bricks. Right, we have a book. I don't need to bookmark the rest of the stuff. And then stripped oak wood. Andesite iron wall. Just fine. Trying to do a write-up for work. Could use some chill Minecraft. Well, we'll see how that goes. I was doing some very relaxing, sort of, mining earlier to clear out some more space for the lavagen. Oh, shoot, I don't know if you caught it, but just more recently working on a tower to pull for the items coming out of this to come out. Yeah, we'll check back on the lavagen later on in the stream. It's just kind of waiting for it. I think we're pretty close to getting 10,000 blocks of lava over there. Yes, trains. Well, we got some tracks, and we have this little thing that I'm using to drive around them on. Yeah, so it's faster than me walking once it gets up to speed. I need to check to see if there's still coal in the chest. Because I think that influences how fast it can go. Approach the start base by holding space. Nope, 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 nope. That way. Yeah, I think this loop here kind of confuses the train station a little bit. So if we... not like carriages are aligned. Great. Okay, it's going to be aligning up. So I can disassemble it. Yes. Great. Yeah, we're out. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be faster with coal in it. Or maybe charcoal will work, hopefully. Let's grab some logs. Got lots of birch. Yeah, there we go. There it is. So now it's just a lot of gathering resources for the build. I don't know how long the fuel will last for this. I think we have been driving around in this back and forth a number of times. How is our iron doing? Still room for more, so that's good. So, windmill bearing, we definitely need. Do we have an extra one of those? I should probably check the tree farm at some point too, to see how it's doing. I don't see a windmill bearing. So what does it take to make one of those again? Stone and a shaft and a slab. So we might have some of those things in here. Slabs. And probably not any kind of stone. Well, there's some andesite. There we go. Okay. I've definitely had double compressed and compressed andesite before. I don't know why that unlocked a thing. And chefs. In this chest. Just one. Okay, we need to get some more andesite alloy going. I think we're getting pretty low because we have 4 blocks. It's not nothing, but we can do more. Let's see, how are we making that again? So that's andesite and iron nuggets and clay balls. Should really set up a factory for this. This will do for now. Andesite. There we go. And iron nuggets. Probably just easiest to grab some iron from over here. Yeah. Get some more of this going while we're doing other things. Filling as it goes. Alright, cool. Right, I was making a windmill bearing. Trying to. Can I not? Oh, I had andesite, and then I didn't. Alright. One less thing to do. And then we needed some more of this gray andesite iron plating, but I think first let's do the iron tile stair. So that's andesite iron plating, andesite iron billet. Do we have more of these? Look, something else that needs andesite. Okay, great. Oh, we have some of that right there, and one of those. So we had some extra. That's good. We should really like consolidate things a little bit more. Really need better storage, but it's not on the list yet. Okay. So how many of these stairs did I need? Was it more than 4? You know what I should have done? Is I should have kept the original book and put another book in. Have I done the moon yet? No, I'm really dragging my heels. I'm like trying to get a lot of stuff set up pre-moon before I do that. I have all the stuff to do it. I just I wanna don't worry about it. I'm not worried. I am I'm really excited to do that, but also really excited to just like go wide. Doing just enough moon to get brass. Yeah, brass would be good. What was I looking at? Like I was doing a build. Yeah, spent a whole week just automating, yeah. I was doing a build in creative trying to figure something out, and well, there were a bunch of places where I just wanted to use brass funnels just to do a stack at a time, but there was something else, and for filtering. Oh, there was something else though. Yeah, last stream the design for the cobblestone gen had a redstone link, and apparently redstone links need brass, which it looks like it does cosmetically, but yeah, it's a brass casing, so whoops, couldn't do that. So, oh right, that's why I'm still carrying a lever, by the way, is because I was going to take that over and put that on the clutch to control that, but yeah, in case chain drives. Is what I need to make next. So we need a lot of andesite casing, which I think we are basically out of. Fortunately, we have lots of wood. So how many? 40. So at least 40. So let's do a stack. I think I'm gonna have to repair my axe. It is very much feeling like I should definitely have automated this. When we get into the scale, maybe I should have automated this. The plan. Hold on. Let's see here. Dun, 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 dun. So I have lots of plans. Site casing. There we go. Some spoilers there. Oh, right. This is the problem I have. I went in here to repair my axe. Was also thinking about another thing. And I spent all the time dealing with the thing I was thinking about instead of the thing I came in there to do.
andesite alloy. Yeah, it's pretty handy to automate solid strip logs. Yep. Sure is. And it's not like I don't have the stuff to do that. I'm carrying a mechanical saw on me. I guess I'm hesitant to set up the automation without having like a designated place for it and a plan for how it's going to like what is the build. I do want to just make pretty things. I don't want to do more of this. I want to have nice builds, and that's teardown can be fast. That's true. That's true. I mean, really, I could probably. I think I'm probably out of power on this setup anyway. Yep, that's true. Tech Reborn wrench. Well, I think put me. I will do me. I think though that if I get to the point where I need to do another stack of casings like this before I'm ready to do a fancy build, I will do something quick and dirty. Because like the amount of time I just spent doing that, I could have instead used making a little automation to do it, and then I wouldn't have to do that again. All right, encased chain drives is what we're making. I can make 26 of them, and many more once I have more nuggets. Now, I don't want to make that many. I needed 40, I believe, for this design. Let's get rid of those nuggets. There we go. What else do we need? So we need 8 gearboxes. Good news. We can do that. Yep, need more brass, or bronze. Because we have 1 cogwheel. I think there might be some in the toolboxes that I left over the other days. I'm not going to run over there. I'm not going to do it. Oh, that's a different kind of billet. Never mind. Copper sheets. I guess I just need copper and tin. Is that in here? I have zinc. I have some tin. Okay, so we can get 1 andesite and 1. Oh yeah, bronze sheet. Okay, and then copper. Yes. Okay, we can do this. Wait, how many of these do I need? 8 gearboxes. 8 gearboxes times 4, 32 cogs divided by 3 is almost 11. So I need at least 11 bronze sheets. I have 5. 6. 11. Let's look at the book. What else do we need? Mechanical belts don't need bronze. Metal girders. I may regret using metal girders in this build. What does it take to make metal girders? I'm hoping it's just iron, which I have much of. Okay, well, that's not terrible, and it's 8 per that. I need to get another batch of andesite alloy going.
boxes, which means I need bronze sheets. The issue is we don't have enough power to run both of these. Yeah. Alright, what else do we need? Oak shelves. How does one make oak shelves? Okay, well that's easy. And turn you off. Which turns on the lamp and turn that back on. Alright, so. Great. No. It's probably easiest to put the casings in there first and then do that. We need a date, right? Perfect. Alright, so we got the gearboxes and the case chain drives, mechanical belts. Well, you made it here now. Oh yeah, setting up Twitch on a new device. I was like, what's with Twitch? Well, welcome to the party. I'm just trying to overcome my inability to remember what I'm doing, thanks to books. Alright, so we got that, we got that. Pelts. So rubber and dried kelp. How many belts do we have stashed up? 1. And 3 rubber. Oh no. At least make dried kelp pretty easily. Lots of kelp. I probably should just like stacks. Although I know there's a crate over there actually. And then I think I remember. Yeah, you're watching the hockey game too, Furiago. I think something. Oh yeah. I think I mentioned earlier in the stream that one of the things I was looking at is how to do more train tracks and like fit it in. Like I'm probably gonna tear this out just to make room, and we'll have more windmill power. One of the things that I don't know if we'll get to this stream, but soonish, is I've cleared some of the trees here to make an area for like a train roundabout. And then probably I'm gonna remove this bridge and this track and have a couple things going across this way, and just have like an intersection here of tracks to connect things. And why I'm bringing this up is just because I cut down a bunch of those trees, and so now I have a bunch of extra rubber logs. No. They go in the thing I don't have here anymore. Do I have any millstones? So that's another thing to automate at some point, is rubber production. Looking in there, millstone should be in here if it's anywhere. Although I think I took them all over. Took them away. Alright, let's just make another one. It is a millstone, right? To mill the, yeah, into sap. Yes. I remembered. Okay, we can make that. I don't know if we have... Yeah, we're missing some kind of stone. We can fix that. There we go.
Does it have difficulty level? Well, part of it is that I just sleep every night. So, and like all of the nearby, like this is the nearby cave, and it's pretty well lit up at this point. There's some mobs somewhere over here. I see them on the minimap. Red dots. Oh, those are pillagers. See the pillagers over there? I think it's set on normal difficulty, the server is. Just because I didn't change it. We're not doing hardcore. We're not doing a super hard difficulty thing. Oh yeah, other worlds. Yeah, I that's something I not thought of, right? So like I know one of the planets has like piglins that you can barter with and other things. I've tried to not learn too much about later parts of the mod pack. Alright, so what else do we need besides belts? Oak shelves. Right. We can do that while we're waiting for things to churn. Inventory. Oh, so first of all, I somehow picked up 2 stacks. I need 16 oak shelves. How many does this make? 12? Okay. $15. Inventory is getting pretty bad. Let's see. The other difficulty is planning your factories, which you only get good at by failure and retry. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Do you mind if I add tips? If it is relevant to kind of the things I'm working on right now, or if it's like longer term things, maybe it's something I can put in the plan TM for later. I do want to kind of somewhat figure things out on my own. It was small. Okay, let's try it. What did you have in mind? I can speed up the smoker. How's that? I mean, besides like increasing the speed of the fans. Oh, the air above the smoker can take more fans. The air above the smoker can take more fans. Like, not just the fan here blowing through it, but I could put another fan right here as well. Is that what you mean? Yep. Yeah, I guess I could do that. I mean, right now, this is what we could, I think it's the case, right? That if I had put more, if I made this go faster, so this was using more stress units, it would cook faster. Is that true? Or am I thinking... Or is that not showing it's about the distance the fan covers? I have to look that up now. That only adds distance. Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So really, what you're saying is I could decrease the speed of everything in here. And just add more fans to this. And... I don't know if that would work for the other directions, but at least for here and over here. Well, if I had 2 extra fans on me. Yeah. Like at some point... Hold on. I think this is in the plan. Move iron production. Set up larger cobble production. Set up automated smoking and packing. So when we do that, I have to figure out how to set up what you're talking about. Since conveyors add 2 sides. So how do I make my fan super slow on conveyor lines since conveyors add 2 sides too? Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. I mean, better to be aware now than to like build a whole factory in such a way that I couldn't accommodate that information. In fact, let me make a note. That's page 4, right? Slow fans. More fans. With extra sides. Because what I'll be doing before I even get to, you know, this stuff is quite a ways out. But before I get to there, I'll probably be doing some testing to do up like a design. Heat back seating. No, it's. I don't know. I don't have a rule or anything like that. But I'm pretty new to streaming, so I don't mind that too much. Right, so I made the shelves. It was 16. Did I make 16? I made 18. Great. Metal girders need... Okay, let's do some math here. I need 166. Basically 3 stacks of metal girders. Girders. So, 3 stacks. 8 times 8 is 64. So 8, 16, 24 of these recipes. 24 times 3. 48. 72. 72 iron sheets and 72 andesite alloys. Maybe that math is right. Maybe it's not. I'm not super worried. We'll just make lots. Iron is something I have a lot of, and we can get a good amount of andesite alloy too. Let's see. There's some there. It should be done. That's there. I need to do something about my inventory. That's a little bit better. I need to carry this with me. I mean, I guess I could just be using the backpack. Yay, inventory. You know why I don't? Because when I try to get into bed, that happens. Alright. We are still pressing plates. Still getting sap.
What else do we need? So we get that, we get that. We're working on that, so we have sap to make rubber. And we have the dried kelp. Metal girders, so we're waiting on the iron plates. Oak shelves we did. Oak wood is easy enough to get. Shafts, we have the andesite there. So stacked andesite bricks, I think is just a chipped block. So just put any kind of andesite in there. And it's andesite 48 in the masons. So how many of those? We just need a stack. That's easy. That was 48. Great. Now, I can make some metal girders. Really should just like bookmark these things. I don't have. All right, because it's in the backpack. How many of these did I say I need? There's more than a stack. How much more than a stack? 166. Basically 2.5 stacks plus a little bit extra. I just hope folks enjoy the sound of the mechanical press going on in the background. Alright, that is enough of that. Okay. And what else do we need? Andesite iron wall. Okay. So andesite iron billet. I think we have some of that. And seamless andesite iron. Okay, so 4 of those in that pattern. Okay, how many of those did we need? And why did I choose to use such a block? I need 16 of those. Okay, that is annoying. Okay. What was it again? And iron billet. Did I have any of that on me, or did I use it all? Okay. And we didn't end up needing these plates anyway, because we were able to make enough girder. Let's get our... Oh, right. Flip the machines around, turn that one on, get some rubber going. And then... Alright, we need coal, and it's an alloy and iron. Yeah, and we had plates in there. Oh well, anyway. And coal. I think we have some coal somewhere. 34. What is the ratio again? Okay, so... We'll just throw it into the mixer and what gets used gets used. Still churning. Rubber. Okay. Almost done. Alright, so let's throw in... Up. Alright, is there anything else we need? There were some things that were bookmarked before. These are all things that need the stuff that we're making right now. So we should just make a lot of that, and we need gray dye. Okay, so
so we ran out of andesite alloy for making that. So we'll make some more of that next. Alright, and gray dye. Do I have black dye. I don't think I have any white dye. But I have a bunch of gray dye, so never mind. That should do us pretty well, because it's, wherever the recipe is. I guess I could look at it from here. Nope. Is it... Oh, apparently there's just all sorts of colors. Anyway, this is the one that we've been using now. And it's 1 into 8, so 33 should do us pretty well. Alright, so I think our rubber's done. I used all the sap we had, so let's see how many belts we get from that. And we can throw in andesite and clay and iron nuggets. Make more andesite alloy. To make more of these andesite iron billets. Ooh, andesite iron blocks. I think some of my builds use these andesite iron frames as well. There's lots of good things in this pack from this mod Dave's Building Extended, and there's another one. I mean, there's Create Deco, and there's some other ones too. Oh, Industrial Decor is the other one. Oh, that's not a good thing. Seattle's gonna get kicked out of the knocked off the playoffs. Well, good that you can pay more attention here. Sorry about the Krakens. Get some of that going. Have to wait for the mixer to finish so we can use it now. Let's do right. Okay, let's make belts. New sport, new team, not too invested. Doesn't sing so much. Well, there you go. I don't have... Oh, it's in the backpack? Yeah. Let me just grab that belt. It'll be easier to bar. There we go. How many belts did I need? 16? Alright, it's covered. So we got that, we got that, we got that, we got that, we got that. Page 2. Oak wood. I have some oak. I had some oak. There we go. How many? 16? Is it just like that? Yeah. There we go. More than 16. Adding more fans to the fire would slow. No, actually the opposite. Adding more fans will make the process go faster. What we were talking about before, though, was that the speed the fans are being powered at, right? So the speed the shaft is coming in here actually is not making it go faster. It just makes the reach of the fans longer, which is useful for other things, but for this is actually not useful. So, like, I could remove all this, and all the machinery in there for the bulk processing would be just as fast as it is now, but it would use less power. And I could use that power to then add more fans in certain spots, and it would make it faster. Yep. And then got that. We can make those with the andesite alloy. How many shafts? 33. 3, 4, 5. That should be enough. There we go. And... 'and... 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 '
Alright, so... Okay. Not stripped oak logs, stripped oak wood. Okay, I'm going to check in on the basin, the mixer, and then let's see, coal and iron and andesite alloy, and that should get going past the night. And then I need to strip all this wood, not logs. All right. Actually, probably should take a break here in a minute, stretch the legs. It's been... We'll leave the stream up. Well, thank you. We'll have the music going, even while I'm away. Let me get this down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. How many of these did I need to make? 104. Okay. Oops. Alright, I'm gonna get these all put down, and I'm gonna take a break for a few minutes. And when we come back, much stripping will occur of these blocks. So something to look forward to. BRB. There we go. See if I'm anywhere near the right number of stripped oak wood. That was the right thing, right? We need 104 stripped oak wood. I suspect I'm going to have to repair this axe at least once. Using this block in more builds, so that will be something to include in kind of I don't know, we could do some kind of like decorative block mall factory build. Oh yeah, there goes the axe. Probably should put those mugs somewhere else, so keep on picking them up. Where would they go? Alright, now. Is there a tinker's tool that's like a, like the hammer or the excavator, but for wood? I don't know. I don't recall. Got most of the resources we need to get the cobblestone gen quarry build going. I don't know if I have item funnels, insight funnels over there. I think I'm going to need some of those. I need to remember grab some. I think I have some in the chest here. I'll grab some of those to bring with. If nothing else, like once we get this going, we can have it routed into item vault blocks to use to have everything dump into. So we can get that going. I should grab a depot too. So it can be pretty easy to get the items out of the vault. We'll just have a funnel going into a depot. So we'll have a stack of cobble waiting for us to take out. Alright, how much is that? So that's 64, 80, 90. And we needed 104. So we need 14 more. Was that... I don't know who the Dallas Stars are. Was that the team playing the Krakens? I'm gonna have to guess from context because I honestly have no idea whatsoever. Oh, yeah. Didn't quite make it. Oof. So is that it? Got that, and that, and that. Yeah, at least that many. Got the shafts, got those. Yeah, we'll see about the other stuff. I think we were making more of the, andesite iron billet. But we got a good amount. More than a stack. Plus this. And that. Okay. Here's the thought. Can you eat the raw version of the dried kelp? You cannot. There we go. Get a snack for the road. What was this thing? Getting some depots and funnels. There we go. Is there anything else I need to bring over with me? I don't think so. I could bring some extra materials just in case. Yeah, should be fun. Let's pass the night and get the building going. I think our next big obstacle is going to be the lack of gunpowder for the schematic cannon. I don't know how we're going to solve that. Might have to go do some creeper hunting. Which is, I feel pretty different than the kind of gameplay I've been streaming so far. I guess there's been some PvE in spots. Alright, the other thing we can do, if we get stuck on that, is trying to figure out, because like we could get this running, if only, alright, we don't have a power source. Right, we need to get the windmill
Shoot. You know what I should do? What I can definitely do is if I hold this in my hand, I can see where that goes, and then we can get some shafts down, and we can run the shaft up to where it's going to meet the windmill, and we can get the windmill down first, even without our item elevator. And we'll have power. And that'll be progress. If you haven't seen, by the way, this is one of the things we're building right here. This is the preview of it using the schematic. It's going to take the items from down here and lift them up so we can shoot them over. Actually, it would be fun if we could make a weighted ejector and just literally shoot the items over. I don't know if we can make those right now. Oh, only golden sheets. So we could make those. What is the distance on a weighted ejector? Like, so what's the max distance? A valid target can be at any height or distance within range. Did it say the range and I skipped over that part? No. I don't suppose anyone here knows the maximum distance for a weighted ejector? Alright, well, we will investigate that in a moment. The first thing I have to do is I need to get over there without dying. So, do you have a block that I don't mind losing? Here we go. Just don't want to take any risks. Alright, and I can use the lever, finally. I can put the lever on. There we go. And then we'll get that going. Oh. The preview went away. There we go. Alright, so you can see that the middle is completely empty. This was not originally intended to, like, go around like this. In fact... No, that's not supposed to be a shaft. That's a girder. Okay. Yeah. I think one version of this I had originally intended to have, like, a shaft that goes up somehow, but I decided against it. Oh yeah, that log is now on fire. It's, not too surprising. Alright, how far can we go? Not far. Yeah, in retrospect, I could have probably, gotten on top and then built up to the top. That might have been a better idea. That way I can stop at the top. No, I'm actually at the top. Because we're going to want to put the windmill right on top of this. Now the issue is, how am I going to get down? I hadn't thought that far. I got some blocks, right? Here we go. I'll just use andesite casing. Yeah. Because then I can instant collect it with the wrench. Like so. Perfect. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so then we're going to put the windmill right on top of that. Even got our log back. Alright, so we'll come back to that. We got most of the resources for it, but first we'll do the windmill so we can get this thing actually running. So one of the, there it is. Double spiral windmill V2 custom. Alright, I gotta get back up there. Do I have ladders? Some. Let's make our way back up. Ta-da! So, right there. One windmill. Now I'm realizing, well, it's fine. When we get back to working on the tower, we'll have to make some more shafts, since we used a bunch of them to get up there. Well, hey, at least the kelp is fast to eat. I'm going to leave this here because we're going to need to get back up here to right-click on the windmill bearing once it's built. I don't know if we'll actually be able to reach that. We'll have to probably build some additional blocks. But anyway. Probably just go there. Yeah, okay. Great. Looks good. And we might even have enough gunpowder in the schematic cannon to build this as is. So let's see here. I need to grab at least the windmill bearing. Put that in that chest. And then we'll also put in the checklist and see what's left. Alright, less than a page of stuff. So we need 2 andesite iron tile stairs. We made 4 of those. We need 19 gray andesite iron plating. Oh, interesting. We need 19 more on top of what we had in there. Okay, let's bookmark that. Did we? Yeah, okay. Cool. I don't have... Oh, right. I have my backpack, so I can just craft right here. Except the backpack doesn't support that. Andesite iron plating. Okay, so we'll make that. 16 of those. And then we got that gray dye. So that's 16 of those. And we need 19? Is that right? We're gonna have plenty. Maybe. Alright, what was the other thing? Gray andesite iron slab. 16 of those. 12, 18. There we go. Get this here. Let's run the book back through. See what's left. For the windmill. So we need 43 gray andesite iron walls. We only need 46 of those.
So we'll take our 4 back, and we'll make the rest of these. Okay. Well, let's just make these and see how far that gets us. Okay, how many of those walls did I need? More than 18, right? 43? Okay, I think we can do that, though. Let's make that. So that will be... almost enough. 42. One more batch. 48? Was it 48? I guess I could just... It was 43. So, alright, so we should have everything we need. We have 109 shots left. So the question is, how many blocks? I don't know if we'll actually have enough. But the schematics in position. Let's skip the night with the sleeping bag. And, alright, alright. Some tin down there and stuff. Okay, so anyway, so let's, we're ready to see another windmill being made. Let's, let me double check settings. So we're going to skip missing blocks. There shouldn't be any missing blocks, so we shouldn't need to skip that. Protect balances is a good safety measure. Replace solid with any. So if there were any solid blocks in the area where we're building, it would be replaced by whatever was in the build, like air. Okay. And go. Alright. One windmill coming up. So now that we're going to finally have power for this mechanism, the next thing to do is probably to check in on the creative world and see what I'm forgetting in terms of the water and lava placement. And then we can turn this thing on and see it going. To figure out probably I know what I can do. I was thinking, how am I going to get power? I'm going to have to add like a gearbox, and we're out of gunpowder, aren't we? Okay, well while we're stuck anyway, let me set this up. Because we're going to want to be able to see the items coming out once this is working. There we go. And did I still have an extra hand crank? Yeah, there we go. Sure, let me just do it like that. Of course, there's nothing in there right now because the system's not working. It's not changing items, but once it is, we'll be able to hand crank it just to see that stuff is coming out and it's working. But we're a couple steps away from that. So the first thing we need is gunpowder. And one of the things I want to do here, let's see. What is something? Yeah, we'll put the girders in there. Get stuff out of the inventory that we don't need to carry with us. Sure. We're
gonna go hunting creepers. We're gonna need some things. And then otherwise I can just leave the backpack. There. And put my chest piece back on, and maybe we can find some creepers. Do we want to do that first? Or do we want to check out the creative world and figure out how to finish off the this mechanism? Is a question. Are there... If I go to the map, can I see mobs? I mean, I can see the dots, but I guess I can't see what kind of mobs they are. At least with the default settings. Oh, there's water right there. If there could just be a creeper right here, that would be very convenient. Even more convenient. I don't think it dropped gunpowder, though. That's very unfortunate. Alright. Where did the other creeper go? Huh? There it is. Ooh. Oh. Huh? Can't tell if it dropped gunpowder. Maybe not. Alright. Third try. The lighting is nice. We got a skeleton over there. How are we doing on ammo? 6 left? That was a miss. 3. Where's the third creeper? Let's not have the creeper fall on us. Bye-bye, bats. Oh, out of block. I get some granite. That looks like gunpowder. But where is the third creeper? Did it despawn? Or is it right behind me? was half expecting it to be right there. Hello. What is this? We got some glow squid. We got something built underground. One of those bits like the one we found in the under the lava over in the other place. I wonder if there's any good loot. At some point, at least I think, we're gonna have to make some kind of glow squid farm, because I think it's these ink sacs mixed with amethyst shards to make shimmer that's used for various things later in the game. So something to look forward to. But there's loot chest in here. Yeah, that's not so great. I'll take the bones. Down. Chest. Different sword. I'll take gold. Why not? How about some gravel? Alright. Guess I'll take the saddle. I'll take the chains too. That might be helpful for something. We can do that here. Excellent. Anvil. More insects. Air pocket behind the build. Oh, that's pretty cool. You can see the reflection of my sword in the water there. Alright. I think that's about it. Let's see. Can we get in here? Can we get out this way? No. Alright. There wasn't like an upper floor, was there? Oh, there is. What's in here? I see my blue chest. Let's see. Oops, there we go. Alright. An ender pearl. A lot of rotten flesh. I'll take the copper. And an emerald. Could trade it for something. And make emerald nuggets for some reason. I think I made one of these already, so I must have got an emerald from somewhere before. But, oh, another chest. Alright. Aqua Affinity. Bottles of enchanting. We haven't really done... We've done no enchanting thus far. But, alright, cool. I hope our, that one... I wonder if the gunpowder that had dropped from the other creeper has despawned by now. I think so. Wasn't it over there? Whoops. That's what happens when I get distracted. That's too bad. Oh, and a spider.
Up there? Okay. Well, there were creepers. Oh, there we go. Maybe we can find some more creepers in the caves up here. If there are, I do want to have my rifle out. I'm not really wanting to fight Enderman though. Let's loop around. Okay, I hear a zombie. Let's head back this way. Alright. Let's try this way now. Nope. What are we at? Two bullets left. Maybe we, if we go up to the top here, we can see some creepers hanging around. We were pretty close to being done on the windmill. I see a creeper over there. Need to get past the skeleton first. Let's see if we can maybe get an extra bullet. Alright. Ooh, a few creepers. That was a miss. Ah. Oh no. I don't like this at all. Aw. Zombies standing here and giving me cover. Thank you. Did the creeper that the other creeper blew up drop gunpowder? No. Well, at least I get some more bullets.
horse. Maybe I can aim better. Now, did the... Oh, it did, yeah. Gunpowder. Just pay no attention to the noise that's behind me. I'm sure it's no problem at all. Nothing that the sunrise won't solve. Toasted nori, delicious. Alright, so we got 1 gunpowder and all that. Alright, can we finish this build, please? It's like 400 shots per gunpowder. Might do it. Let's drop off some of this stuff we don't need to carry around. Miscellaneous loot. I'll have to come back for later. And grab our backpack. I think we'll have to deal with a good number more skeletons to have enough gunpowder for the rest of the build, though. The tower. Because I think it's a fair number more blocks total. And I'm getting the sense anyway that the shots, it's basically 1 shot per block. Looks like it. To, of course, it's stopping its shots. There it is. Alright, so we run up there. We can get this going. And I think this is going to work somewhat. Just not fully without the bits of extra water and or lava that I think are missing. Alright. Can we reach the, no. Okay. We need some more blocks up here. We got 1. Still can't reach. Let's see. I guess I can use some of the encased chain drive since they are instantly pickupable. There we go. Let's not get knocked off. Yeah, it's running. So let's pick up some blocks here. We shouldn't need to click that bearing again because we can control the other end through the clutch. So I'll just pick all of this up. Go. And there is the mechanism running. Contraption, if you will. Although it's not a minecart contraption, but it's a... yeah, let's link up. Although nothing comes out because there's no... I think if I stood here, though, when it makes its trip around, I'll wait for it to get closer. So it's definitely working. Alright, so the lava is meeting with the waterlogged stairs around the perimeter. And forming stone. And then it's getting mined by the drills that are on the contraption that are rotating on the mechanical bearing. So if I spin this while it is linked up via the portable storage interface, yeah, we get some cobblestone. Ooh, 2 cobblestone. There'll still be a lot more if we could actually have some appreciable speed going on this, which we will have at some point. So if I do this, yeah, it just resets it. Great. Well, it resets it to a side. I think it originally started facing that way, but that's fine. I can actually probably... let's see, what does that say? Always place when stopped. Only place near initial angle. You could do that. So is the initial angle now where it just started from? Or is it where it was originally built at? Oh, right. It doesn't, like, instant snap back. Right, so now I think it will only take platform again once it is stopped when it's facing that way. I think that works. One anchor destroyed. Anchor. Always place when stopped. Near initial angle. Anchor, I guess is fine. So if we were to stop this when it is facing that direction, there we go. It clicks into place because it gets placed back down like as blocks, which is fine. So I think what's missing is like some... No, it can't be waterlogged blocks there, but there's supposed to be something here so that these inner drills can mine. I just don't remember exactly how that's supposed to work. So we are now at the point where I think I'm gonna drop out of this world and look at it go. That's cool. We're gonna pop out of this and do something I've not done. Let me wait for replay mod to finish saving out. We'll hop over to my creative test world. Check out how this is actually supposed to be working, because I think we're gonna miss out on something if we don't have the inner part working right. And then we'll come back and fix that, and then we can start working on the tower portion. All right, so single player, creative, super flat world. And this does have some maybe some builds that you could call spoilers for things I'll be doing later. Some of the builds that I've been working on from like a decoration perspective, and then some of the things I've been looking at that we've talked about in the last couple of streams in terms of figuring out how the copper and tin automation stuff works and some of that. So all right. And then some things are in here that I'm not going to be using in this playthrough. Just some things that I had pulled in from other worlds. Here we go. So if this does in fact just have a... So I think I put lava here. And, okay, so inside the corners, it looks like. Let's game mode spectator. Do I have... Okay. So no, I don't think it matters because I don't think... So the thing that I think this is missing is that, like, this block here needs to be... What are we missing here? Like, we need to have, like, a waterlogged block somewhere here in order for this to actually work right. Like, these need to be, like, stairs. These cobblestone blocks. But I think they would get mined. Hold on, let me... Mode, creative. So if I were to just get rid of this lava here. So basically what I'm saying though is that the thing that I thought maybe I was missing is missing, but it's missing from this version too. So maybe it's fine because the way this was set up was producing a lot of cobblestone, just as is, so maybe it's just fine this way. I do want to take a closer look at the inside though. For that, I need to get rid of this lava. Here too. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's the redstone link that I had in the original design. That since we don't have brass, I can't make. Alright. So for this to form stone here in the middle, there would need to be waterlogged blocks, but I think the issue would be, like, some of this stone? Oh, I missed a, there we go. Okay, so how do I get this to, run again? Both of those are being run off of this, so just turn that off. There we go. There we go. I'll turn that off again. So this is what it looks like with... Okay. Okay. I think I see. I think maybe what I was originally thinking was having maybe lava here, and the water would flow from the waterlogged blocks, potentially all the way to the inside, but we are short some drills for that to happen. In fact, I think I just don't need these drills here, because they're not doing anything. No blocks are going to get formed from the lava in here, because the water can't reach, because these blocks are never broken. So it's only really this perimeter where we have these drills that are doing anything. Okay, so I can recover 4 drills. I don't know why I even bothered saving the the replay of that, but I guess I'll have it if I want to look at that later. Connecting to the server. Let's skip the night. Your tablet's out of use? Okay, yeah, the VOD will be on Twitch, and then I'll try to get it. It probably won't be on the YouTube VODs channel until the day after, because it takes a bit to trim out the ends and add the chapters and stuff. Okay, so I think I can recover these mechanical drills from the middle, because they don't do anything anyway. I'll have those for something else. Great. So... Oh yeah, no. What am I thinking? That is an unwise action that I was about to do, which was I was going to jump onto the mechanism and flip the lever. That would be bad. In fact, I think someone built something very similar to this. I think from a common inspiration that they did something very similar to that and had a bad time. So let's not do that. It works. It is, if not already full, very shortly the little item vault on the back is going to be full. I think we have most of the things we need to make the tower now. I just need to set up the schematic again and probably get more gunpowder. Let's get started on that. So I think this was down near the bottom of the schematics. Looking forward to doing the train there. Tower belt 1. There we go. Let's make a better source of food soon. Do something about the food situation. Okay, so schematic should be roughly centered around that block. We can lift it up one. Go. I think that's mostly correct. Okay. Is it centered? Yeah. I think that looks good. Can probably go back at some point and kind of connect up the bottom to make it look visually like it makes sense. Like maybe extend the these cobblestone bricks out, down, and link it all up. Maybe link that out or something. I don't know. But yeah, that looks good. Could I have it one lower? Where it intersects with where this is? I guess I could. This is not a good place to be. Wait, is this the right direction? Yeah, that's still coming out. Now I'll have to go out that way. We'll have to eventually like wrap this belt around to get back up to there, but I don't think that's a problem. I mean, for that matter, I could change the cobblestone gen to have the portable storage unit facing up. It doesn't really help the situation. Like, I could have another one burning down and have it like pull items that way and do stuff, but this is fine. It doesn't gain us anything to have it going a different direction, I think. I think this is fine. Let's give it a little bit of room for extra detail and decoration. And gets us about right to the right level. So let's put this into the schematic unit, and we'll update our book and see what we need to provide. Alright, so I know that it includes chain drives, and the gearboxes are part of that. We can also do out this. We know we need converters. Don't need the barrels or the storage units, so take out that in there. What else don't we need? We don't need the millstones in this, or the encased fans. Those come later. Don't need the rubber. Or the gray dye. Stuff in there. And then take the book again. what are we missing? Probably a few things. So the second page is all done. So we need the mechanical belts, 16 of those. So we got 16 belts. And what else? Oak shelves. Right there. Was there anything on us? Yeah, we needed those. We're gonna probably have to make some more shafts. That's the one thing that we're short on. Don't need the sticks in there. Or those stairs. Move those out of the way. And then update our checklist. So we need 21 more shafts, and we need 16 andesite iron walls. So we have that. That is not how you make andesite iron walls, apparently. I'm surprised by that. Andesite iron wall. Oh, it's made with seamless and iron billet. Didn't we make seamless? Okay. Wasn't that for that? Okay, so there's 12. How many did we need? 16? Okay, so we need to make some more of those. So the seamless ones were made like that. And then combine those. There we go. Alright, and then what's left? Just the one thing, right? Andesite shafts. 21 shafts. Do I have any andesite alloy left? I think I don't. Do I have it in the toolbox? I have 15 shafts. So that leaves us with, I guess I can just do the math. But instead, I'll just update the book. 6. Well, guess we gotta make the trip back to the base. So I think I should put in my book to do is make some more toolboxes. I think before we do any of the other things I want to do, let's make more toolboxes. Because they're very handy in terms of having quick storage. We're only putting a couple things in here, but there's a lot of things that we've been putting in chests and moving around. Like, we don't need to have that in there. We got 42 buckets in there. I don't know why. Yeah. So there's lots of opportunity to put some actually useful things in the toolboxes and like take them to job sites like this and do all that. But I've been kind of neglecting that whole thing. That would probably save me some of these back and forths. So that'll be a future thing to do. Alright, back to the starter base. Get hold left or right here. It's not until we get looped around and come back. You can see my little footpath going up there. Looking forward to doing some stuff with the in and around the village up there. I have some ideas for a better little home base, a little build for a house to put some of the stuff in that I use often to hang up all my toolboxes and all that, and some other builds to put up there. We're gonna need some more resources before we can get to that, though. But right now, I think there should be some andesite alloy waiting for us here. A little bit. There we go. We Just needed that. Yep. Alright. Onwards we go. And then with these, the next thing will be to get some more gunpowder so we can use the schematic cannon to set up the item elevating tower. And then from there, it'll be time to start piping the items into a vault. And that will be, if we can get that far, that'll be great, but that's probably all we'll be able to do on this stream. Future streams, we'll go from there. Is there a zombie following me? No? Okay. He's in a cave somewhere nearby. Okay, chef's in there. We can double check with our checklist. Everything's checked off, so we can have this start going. Frame setting should be fine. We're not missing any blocks, so we don't need to skip. Replace solid with any. Replace solid with solid. Should be a good setting for us. I'm a little concerned of like overlap towards like right where the top of one thing is, the bottom of the tower, and vice versa for the windmill is. So I think that'll be good. There shouldn't be any intersection at all, but I don't want like for one thing, I don't want the air in the middle of the build to replace the shafts that are there right now, which okay, yeah, so this should be safe. I think it would have to be this option, replace solid with empty, for it to replace our shaft with air from the build. So that should be good. We'll make a little bit of progress on the tower. Go from the bottom up. And some bullets here. Some things. Let's just get to the things we don't need to carry. Let's leave my backpack here. And we'll do some more. We'll do some more creeper hunting. We'll check out the caves here first. Oh, it's Enderman. Okay. Any creepers here? Would be very convenient. This is, I think, what I said the last time I did this. Still didn't get any gunpowder from that, but we got a skeleton down there. And a skeleton there. Maybe the same Enderman that was there from before. So we'll see if we can find a creeper in here nearby and kill some time until night arrives. And then we'll go look around on the surface. It seemed like there were a lot of creepers around on the surface last time around, so maybe we'll be similarly fortunate.
Is this the same place I just went? I don't know. Hmm? See a zombie and some skeletons. Oh, yep. No creeper though. Alright, well, we made some progress with the tower. May just need to wait till night to find our gunpowder. Yeah, so this is the tower so far. Maybe a little bit easier to see without, you know, when looking at the actual blocks rather than the schematic. It looks like everything is still working properly. Shaft's still going in the middle. Need to figure out how to, need to get a gearbox, actually, to get the belts going as well. Might as well do that now. Yeah, should have some materials here and there. Do we have any gearboxes left? There's a vertical gearbox that's not part of the schematic, so we can use that. Some encased chain drives that we already had, and some cog wheels, that might be helpful. We had some inside alloy. We make some more shafts too. And that should be enough. It's not a problem if the contraption runs the other way around, so it should be fine. So what we want to do is have... how do we want to do this? Okay, I put my wrench away. Oh right, it's in the toolbox. Disconnect that, put a vertical gearbox right here, and of course that spins around the other direction, but that's harmless, as far as I know. We'll get this going, and I think we're lucky in that this is spinning the right direction, because we want the belt to go that way, and then everything should be hooked up so that things are going in the right direction. Ride the belts up. Gotta be careful though, because I suspect that this will get us to a point where we might take an unfortunate trip down. Yeah. We could probably do something to make this felt faster if and when we desire. But, you know. Yeah, so this will eventually get us up to like that level up there, and then we'll have some belts going and getting items into a item vault. hoping though that oh, and a thing that I don't have here now, but I could have brought with me is a speedometer or the stressometer, one of the two. Yeah, the stressometer, to see how much stress we're gonna have left after this is considered, and all the belts and stuff for the tower. To see if we're gonna have enough power to do the clay processing here that we want to do. And it is sunset. Good. We can get ourselves ready to go do some creeper hunting. Some zombies over there. That's a flower. One of the things that I've seen several times wandering around in the world are not cherry trees, but there are oak trees that are have a face in them. That I know there's a thing that's in this pack that you can talk to them, but it has to be like at night. And for the most part, playing this so far, on game day 3042, I've not been running around at night. But I'll have to get my eyes out. I think there's a thing you can like right click with an empty hand and talk to them and they'll tell you certain things. I don't really know what that's about, but I know it's a thing in this, and I'm curious. This is a suspicious little mound. There's a village over there. Some zombies over there. A zombie over there. Looking for creepers. There's a creeper. Didn't hit. Why not? Yay, and 2 gunpowder, which is good too. Oh, almost out of Nori. I suppose I should go find a couple more creepers just to get a little bit more gunpowder. You're gonna need it. It's nighttime. Surely there's more creepers I can find out here in the world. We got 3 bullets. Should be able to do something with that. Probably want to get away from this cat, though. If we're trying to find creepers. What is that? Oh, it's an elephant. It's like is it a statue? It looked like it was just stone blocks, but no, it's an elephant. Oh. Ooh. I guess one of the things that's gonna kind of encourage me to go to the moon is whoops. I guess I'm out of bullets then. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Is a better way of getting gunpowder. Oh, that's nice. I see a creeper over there. I suspect we're gonna have some problems though, getting anything from this creeper other than an explosion. I've not had a lot of luck with fighting creepers in melee due to not being able to do enough damage to like 1 or 2 hit them. This is an interesting bit of terrain here. Now you see me, now you don't. Aww. No gunpowder. Yeah, but if we go to the moon, I think it's like washing moon sand? There was some way of getting gunpowder that we just didn't have available to us right now. And some of the builds I want to do, I'm not going to place blocks by hand. You know, I can do enough of that anymore. Oh, poor bird. Hey, a feather. Enough manual block placing. It's just not easy to melee a creeper in this. What was I saying? Done enough placing blocks by hand in Minecraft over the years. They're very bouncy. Alright, where am I even going? I'm going back to my forest. Oh, I think I have a maximum distance on my... I never drop gunpowder if they explode, right? I have a maximum distance on my... Okay, so north. Let's kill a skeleton. And a bullet, maybe? 1 bullet. And we're out of food. Except for run flash. Yeah, the shimmer light. But, yeah, so I have the... There we go. The, beacons I have set up so that they, don't show up if they're too far away. That way, you know, the horizon is not covered with beacons, although I have a bunch turned off from things that I found, but still. I don't necessarily want to see them when they're quite a ways away. I can, you know, figure out how to navigate generally in that direction and then narrow in on it. Here we go, some more onions. Food situation is so bad, I'm just foraging as I go. Let's eat some more flesh. Alright, I wonder if this 2 gunpowder is going to be enough for us to finish off the build for today. I hope so. Getting pretty close to the time this stream is scheduled to end. So we will see. We will see. Alright. So, let's see if we can do it. I don't want to put both in case, you know, one would do it, and then we would potentially, you know, want to move the schematic cannon, and then we lose that extra gunpowder. So we'll see if one is enough. What's really cool is that, you know, you can see the shafts at the part where the build left off were spinning, and the schematic cannon, as it resumes building, the things just link up, and the power, you know, the rotation continues through the mechanisms. I think that's pretty cool. All right, I think we're getting pretty close. We're not even halfway through that one gunpowder, so that's good. I think no matter what, we'll have enough to finish the build, but I'm hoping that it'll just be that one gunpowder. And then we'll be done with the tower. I guess we can also get some stuff hooked up here. Alright, so we're gonna want, let me see here, I have some shafts somewhere, right? Definitely have that. Do I have extra belts? Wait, there was 5 in there. Some shafts in there. Some pawns and exchange drives, and so what we can do is we can get started on getting this hooked up to feed up to there. And the build's done. There it is, all wired up. I don't like that positioning. Okay, so we need right. Where is? Okay, so we definitely need 2 shafts here. It's belt going. So what we want to do is we want to have shaft there, spin that around, and then we can extend the chain drive, spin that way, there we go, and so now items are going to flow up to here, and then we can proceed downwards and angle. Let's see here, so we can go down to there. It's a bit low. Let's get some blocks. Any block will do. Let's see. Can we? Yeah, we can go to there. That I think will be good because then we can have a short section of belt here and then a section of belt here coming down and then straight from there. I think will make sense. Yeah. Okay, so shaft. Spun around that way, and belt. Okay, and then shaft. Like so. Alright. And then, okay, this needs to go one more. Something here.
block to that block to that block. No, that's too. Here and more chests. One there. Like so. And then we can embed one in here. So that we have a continuous path coming out of here, down there, and then up here, to here, and then onto this belt. Let me off. Not that way, please. Not into the lava. Okay. So I need some things. How do I want to do this? I wonder if I can extend this belt one more and then put a gearbox here, if this will rotate the right way. How does that work? So if this is rotating clockwise, then the gear meshed facing to the right needs to spin. Yeah, okay. So I should be able to put a gearbox here and extend this belt out one, and then this will be powered in such a way that it goes this way. But I need a gearbox to do that. Do I have any of those? I think I used them all. I do have a bunch of cogwheels. I think I have inset casings somewhere in here. Oh, there we go. So I can make some. Probably make a couple. Probably going to need a couple. Yep. Can I make more belts? Or do I have more belts? Nothing there. Not in those. I have rubber. I think I ate the rest of the dried kelp. Which in retrospect, maybe not the best idea. I don't have any more in there. Okay. Well. I can at least put the gearbox down, I guess. Alright, and then, I have these encased chain drives, so we're gonna need something to continue the power. There. And then, so if I were to extend this belt one more, then a gearbox interfacing here would spin this way. And so the gear here would spin this way. So that would work. That would cause this belt to direct items down. And then we would just need to work in another set of chain drives there to continue that rotation to here. And then if this is rotating this way, then the gear here is rotating this way, so that would be correct. It all just works out. We just need to extend that belt out one and this belt out one. And I need one more gearbox to make this all connect. So the gearbox I can do now. Yep. And we just gotta go back and get some kelp to make some belts. And then we should be good to go. Alright, so that spinning that way meshes with gears going this. Yep, okay. It all meshes. I can go maybe get some food while I'm at it. It's not like we're lacking in food items, food ingredients from all the farming that we get started on. It's just a matter of it being pretty inefficient to eat the ingredients versus making one of the Farmer's Delight or the other fancier food items. But then I forget to do that, and then here we are. Nope, still didn't make that jump. Alright, the windmill? Yeah, the windmill, pretty much the whole build is done. I just need to finish hooking everything up, which means I need to remember to get the ingredients. There we go. And, some more to eat. I did bring the rubber with me, so I'll just make the belts here. They're really cool doors. The hitboxes on them are a little awkward sometimes to hit. Alright, is it rubber on top of the kelp? Nope. It's kelp on top of rubber, isn't it? Yep. Let's just make a bunch. Well, if 9 is a bunch. That's all we had, huh? Rubber tree farm might be good to do at some point. I feel like we're going to start needing more and more mechanical belts. Oh yeah, I have a train. I should ride the train to the place. Jump our way up the hill. Alright, so the other thing that maybe I'll try to do before we end this train, because we're getting pretty close to the end right now. 2 things. Well, let's see. So first, get this hooked up. And there. Let's also recover our crank. Alright, so it looks like everything is going in the right direction now. So we should see this linking up shortly. There we go. And, yeah. Yeah, I think... I don't suppose I have any chutes. Do I have materials to make shoot? I do want to change this around just a little bit, because this is, I think this could be faster. Wait, how did... Shoot. Oh. I don't have the stuff to do that on me. Okay, never mind. Shoot. This is fine. It demos that it's working. And if we follow this up, this is going to get our cobblestone all the way up to the level that we want it at. It's going to elevate it to here. We're not going to want it to go this way, though. We are going to want the... Ooh. my. That was close. Let's go back up here and tempt fate again. Yep. That belt really wants to pick me up and throw me. Love it. Okay, how are we going to prevent this from happening again? We are going to get some blocks. And step over here. And die. Well, there we have it. That is the first on-stream death in Minecraft. Yeah, I was kind of asking for it. And now we have to run it over because we only have one train. It's not like I was using my XP for anything anyway. There is graves. Well, I think most of the people watching this are aware of what's in the pack, but there's a grave mod in the pack. So it's not like all my items flew off and went into the lava or anything like that. So it'll be fine. And we get a handy decorative block for our trouble. Oh, there's nothing under there. That's interesting. Sometimes you can just run on top of the tracks. I think there's something that I don't completely get about how that was supposed to work. Alright, so there's our grave. So let's try to do that. And I need to figure out how to get off the belt and place a block without the belt flinging me off the side of the thing. Yeah, let me just... Oh, that was a mistake. I somehow placed the block when I picked it up. I don't know how that happened. But in the meantime, I'm getting some extra cobblestone, which is helpful. Alright. There we go. Alright, so let's try this for the 4th time? Hey, look, if I sneak... See, it was interesting. I was standing right here, but it wants to pick me up. Oh. It's not the belt at all. It's the windmill. The windmill is killing me. Isn't that great? Alright. What I was saying before, though, hey, look. A fancy decorative block. So, it's developed a taste for blood. Yeah. So that's the my 3rd death so far this game. But the first one on stream, so... Alright. Let's do what I was trying to do in the first place, which was to place that right there. And place another one. And get a belt going here. Maybe. I have belts, yeah. There we go. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, I guess I was not really looking up this whole time up until it did me in. Can we... No, you cannot sneak click. Okay, is this... We're clear. We're clear of the windmill of death. Yeah, you cannot sneak click that, so you can sneak to the edge, and you have to let go. Oh, we can just do this. Okay. Ooh. All right. How far can we go? That far? No. Further? Is that it? I think that's as far as we can go, yeah? Alright, and then we just need to put a chain drive? There we go. I was like, sneaking on the belt should mean that it doesn't move me forward. So I was very confused. Alright, do I have... I am out of... Okay, here we go. Great. So there's two things I wanted to do before we wrap up the stream. One is to get these items going into an item vault, just so that, you know, we're, you know, not throwing away things. Can't throw away things. And two, I wanted to go check on the lavagen, see how it's doing. So, walking down the belt is just the worst thing. I should, like, put a ladder on this or something. I think these are the items that fell down from the top when I had it disconnected. What could possibly go wrong? Alright. Pretty cool. Alright, so I have some item vaults and a chest here. And a barrel and a chest somewhere. Yes. And did I have one more? Inside safest structure you built so far. I mean, the other one had catwalks. In fact, I saw a build someone did, and that they were using Create Deco, and it looked like there's a block. Ooh, that's pretty close. There was like a scaffolding or like catwalk like block, but it was a stair. And I just remembered that that exists. Well, I saw it anyway. I don't know if it actually exists in this pack. But it looked like they were using some of the same mods that were in this pack. But I'm not seeing it. But yeah. Oh, catwalks convert to stairs. Really? Really? Well, I'm going to have to check that out. Because... Alright, let's sleep really quick. So, right, so I was saying is that, you know, I did the catwalks on over the lava in the lavagen. Okay, do we have a funnel? That is the other thing we need besides the item vault. There's one. Okay, so we can get items in. That's all that's important, right? Just getting the items in. So maybe we can come back and put some catwalks around this, so we don't have to pretend that we are a piece of cobblestone. As the windmill knocks us off. Okay, so this will be fine, right? If I just like sneak over to the edge of the belt and place a block, I can do that, right? No. That collides. Okay, there we go. So I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, okay. Well, that's technically a vault. We did it. There we go. We got cobblestone being generated in our stone quarry, being belted up, and being put into a vault. It is technically mission accomplished for now. There's more to do, much more to do. But because the main thing I care about this is the main thing I want to get out of this is producing clay, because we're gonna need clay as an input, and we'll probably have to scale up. In fact, the production of this. We can actually, if we geared up the speed, this will produce more if it's rotating faster. Up to, I think I measured it something like 250,000 or 300,000 cobble an hour, which is a lot or not, I don't know. Okay, so last thing we're gonna do on the stream tonight, what have you, is we're gonna go check out the lava gen and see if we can get 10,000. Because I've had that little advancement quest thing on the right hand side for several streams now, and I would really like to just have that checked off if we can. Have you tried automating dripstone? I have not tried automating dripstone. Honestly, right now, like, I don't feel like the... Yeah, yeah, I mean, I think there was that other stream that we were both chatting on the other day, where we were looking at the streamer doing that. I don't think generating the lava is really the limiting factor. What the limiting factor has been so far is actually the space for the lava to go. That's what I've been having to do between, like, after the last stream and this stream, is go down and clear out area for the lava to be pumped into to get up to 10,000 lava. And I had thought that I had cleared out enough area, but I think my math was a little off. So I'm hoping that with the space that I've cleared at the beginning of the stream, that maybe we're close now. Because the server is going 24/7 and I have this chunk loaded, it's generating lava all the time. So, like, behind these blocks, this is all lava, all the way up to here. All lava. So, if I borrow that for a minute, and I send this down all the way to the bottom. Because I'm pretty sure the hose has to be at the bottom. That's what I got from the looking at the ponder for this at the beginning of the stream, is that the hose has to be all the way at the bottom. Unfortunately, I can't really see. Do I have a bucket? I do have many buckets. Let's borrow that one right there. I can't see if the hose is moving. Okay, it's not. Great. So, if I were to put this way, are we infinite yet? Would it say so here? If this was being treated as an infinite source? Because I think it should, if it was. It's pumping now. What is it pumping to? Yeah, it must not be... Okay. Well, that's fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that back off, and we're going to pull this back up to the top, and resume generating lava and filling our tank, if you will. Ow. Oh, I'm starving. Like, what is hitting me? Hungry. Alright, that's enough of that. Okay, so this will, yeah, right? This will fill up to this level. And that'll be good. Just dump a bucket of lava in there. And put that in there. And turn this around the other way. See, I feel like we should be pretty close. Yeah, so we're filling up to basically y negative 30 from y. We're gonna go down here. We're gonna get a solid number on where we're starting from. So this is dripping lava. So we are starting here at like y6. So that's like 26 levels. And we're dealing with a space that's like roughly 18 by 32 times 26. 18 times 32 times 26. It should be roughly 15,000 blocks. So that number could be slightly off. Must be slightly off. Because otherwise we would have hit 10,000 a few levels ago. A few Y levels ago. But we must be pretty close to 10,000. It's too bad there's not a way to like measure. Other than, you know, trying to pump it and see if it pumps, see if it says it's infinite. Because we'll get the advancement when that happens. Well, I'm gonna be streaming this again on Wednesday. Doing another Create Astral stream, and in that we'll see if we've reached 10,000. I'm avoiding checking it between streams. I'm just going to keep on digging more space until we hit enough space for it. So yeah. Thank you for watching, hanging out, participating in the chat, all that. Till next time. Bye-bye.